happening.
Obviously, something's happening.
Something's
Oh,
happening.
I gotta change my. I always forget to do that.
We have guests. Thanks to Matt. All thanks to Matt. All thanks to Matt.
Adam, don't forget to hit the record button.
What? Oh, okay. I like talking to the video like it's an actual person. Hello, YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
Where's everyone? We are live.
Oh, did we? I don't know. Hold on. Let me share the link to the on the Facebook.
I shared it in our group already because we were able to schedule this thing.
I don't know. Sorry.
I didn't. So the intro, I didn't hear audio. Is that like normal or?
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
I did.
Oh well.
I wonder if we heard it on the broadcast. I wonder if anyone was even there on the broadcast.
Well, I don't know. I'm just letting you know I didn't hear it. So I didn't know if we were live.
Should we play it again?
No, we're live.
We're live. YouTube told us we're live. YouTube never lied.
I'll trust your judgment. I'll trust it. And
see,
that's right. That's right. You will.
Wow.
Hello, Pedro. Thank you for joining us.
Pedro, how's it going?
Stop.
Can't wait to see you guys debut for M3 finally.
Yeah.
But let's kick it off.
Kick it off. See, it's a soccer stream, and you said let's kick it off. Okay,
I get it.
I'm tired. Sorry.
It's like humor, isn't it?
It is. It's kind of like a joke. I don't know if you meant to do that or if that was.
Yep, intentional.
So the question everybody wants to know is, how's your knee doing?
My knee is okay. We had to change the wrappings today. That was a process.
I bet, yeah.
So I didn't know how tight. What? Excuse me? No. I didn't know that they had like bandages underneath, like really sticky ones, not just gauze.
Oh.
And they were right over the cuts. Yeah, it's not fun.
So what happens? Okay, let's say, have you ever seen the movie Rookie of the Year?
Here we go.
So let's say
the little kid gets his.
Yeah, like the joint or whatever gets like super stretched out and he can like throw really fast.
Ooh, what happens if you can kick 100 miles an hour?
Exactly.
I don't think so.
But I mean.
But what if?
But what if? Oh, you have kids. You know about the what if. You know the what if question game.
Yeah.
If an elephant fell on our house, what would we do? I don't know. Well, what if? And then you get like what if for.
Yeah, we'd feed it peanuts. But yeah, that would be interesting if that did happen.
Right.
I'll let you guys know when I get back on the field.
All right.
So what are we doing?
Central Cup, baby. Central Cup.
Well, I saw the scores of the Central Cup. I can't really give my input on the games themselves, but 8-3.
Can we start? Wait. Hold on. Can we start with the venting session? Can we vent so we can start negative and end positive?
Get the venting out of the way before people join.
Are we airing? Are we airing the grievances now?
We're airing
yes, let's air the grievances.
Yes. So, yeah. So what happened was the people who bought something happened with the Facebook event. Here's my guess. I haven't talked to anyone official on this. I don't know, but here's my guess what happened. The people who bought the Facebook event for the $40 for all 6 games did not get the game stream. It just never showed up. The people who paid the individual $9.99 for the one game, this is the Dallas KC game in Dallas that we're talking about that was on Saturday night. The people who paid $9.99 for that game, it showed up either right away or a little bit late. And then sometime after the first quarter, they started running around trying to figure out what to happen. I got an actual personal invite from the Comets to go as it was like a free invite or something. It's all who you know. And it's all how you represent the environment that you were in. you can see by this lovely deer painting behind us.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering what was going on, and I saw that the MASL was showing the Comets game for free, and I'm like, okay. I mean,
Yeah, I think they just gave up and they just gave it to everyone for free and just published the link for free. Now I'm hoping, since there's over a week, a full week until almost a week, because it's Friday night, until the games, that they're going to be able to fix that and figure that out. And that just reminded me of something.
Now,
There is
so
a game. It's Friday night.
it is definitely not Friday. It's not Friday night. It's Monday night.
But there's a game that's Friday night. Okay.
I was extremely irritated by that.
Dude, I was ready to rage quit everything I had to do with soccer in my entire life.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, we had to talk you off a ledge.
I'm like, what is going on here? I don't want to deal with this. This is going to be the regular season. Every week is going to be the same shit show it's been every year. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like it.
So I think the issue is based on who's streaming it, right? So it's safe to say those teams that have their stuff together, this shouldn't happen.
Well, so like in past streams, I would say yes, but I think by the way, hi Jack, how's it going? Jack Williams out there. I think what happened was it's a Facebook event thing. So I don't even think it's the Facebook platform or it's the stream from Dallas or it's anything, because people who paid for the individual event were getting it. I think it was just a mix up in sending that video to more than one event. That's my guess.
Right.
Because I think the people who got paid for the event separately got it right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think it was just a matter of them, however they do it in their system, sharing it to multiple events, because you have the one, for like all 6 games. I would expect each game to show up under that same event. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what's going to happen when, and obviously they should figure this out before they go regular season and they have 100 games or whatever. I don't know. What's the math on 11 teams, minimum of 12 games?
133.
Well, it can't be 11 times 12 because some of those teams play each other. You know what I mean? So if they play each other, you can't count it twice. You only have to count it once. So half of that, say 80, 71 and a half, 70.
Look, all I'm going to say is I'm glad that they're doing this with the Central Cup because they could figure out these issues now.
Oh, yeah.
Because
absolutely.
I would hate, like, I boycotted the first 2 quarters because of this. And I kept hearing that Lipe was scoring. And you guys know I'm a big fan of Lipe. So I was like, I got to watch this game.
It was Lipe's sidekicks, not Dallas sidekicks. Because it was
right.
And then everyone else on the sidekicks. There were obviously some good setups and things like that. But Lipe was just all over the place.
Yeah, he ran the show.
Coming into play. So in other words, it would, like, if you were going to watch like a pivotal game of a season that was supposed to be on this brand new platform called, say, we'll call it like 13 Sports. We don't want to give away what it was really called, so we'll call it 13 Sports. And you were supposed to watch like the Blast hosting the Milwaukee Wave in this like pivotal game for playoff implications, and it was preempted by 5 hours by a college baseball game. 5 hours. Five. This many. So it would be like that? Would it be like that? Because I was in the tower putting the gun together at that point.
Guys, look, can we not relive the past?
All right. So there's our airing grievances. Very, very, very upset at the time. What are you writing, a book over there?
Yeah, no, I think so.
Figure out how many games. I mean, we were sitting there figuring it out, so I would try and figure it out.
Well, while he's doing that, let's talk about Dallas and KC. So it was a Lipe show. It was a Lipe show.
It was 1-1 at the half.
Yeah, it was 1-1.
It was a and actually that'll bring up an interesting topic for maybe another night or maybe tonight. But yeah, so it was a Lipe show the whole time. He scored all 3 goals. Adam James for KC got a hat trick.
Mm-hmm. What is our favorite announcer's favorite player?
Mujan.
Mujan.
No, the young guy. Come on, guys, you guys know.
What?
Lucas D'Souza?
Yes, Lucas Sosa. He got
Okay.
he got a brace and scored on his debut. So congratulations to him finally making a debut for
Yeah.
KC.
Okay.
After a whole year of fighting visa issues.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
What is this?
52 and a half right there.
Didn't you use
52
the
and a half.
Pythagorean Blasterian theorem?
Yep. Yeah, this here. So 52 and a half games.
Who plays the half game?
It's all in the math, Adam. I don't know.
Okay. So, and if you do the math on 52 times 4, that is a much better deal to buy the season pass for $79.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's talk about that for a second. Do you guys have any concerns? And I don't. I shouldn't say I don't, but a number of people
After this weekend.
What?
After this weekend, I have concerns.
So do you have concerns if you pay the $79 and the league halts or stops or does whatever due to COVID, that you won't get that money back or you won't see anything or there'll be an issue?
I didn't even think about that. I was thinking more of I'm paying the $79 to watch half games.
Well, there's that.
Half game. Told you.
There was one guy who was like, well, do I get my $40 back now? And it's like, well, wait a minute.
It's just one game.
If anything, you should get 40 divided by 6, which is $6.66 repeating. Are you going to do that math?
No.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of room.
Yeah. But you shouldn't, you shouldn't even get $9.99 back if you paid the season thing and you didn't get that game.
Right. You should get a prorated amount. Yeah.
I mean, what's the issue? Like, okay, I was frustrated. Yes, I was frustrated. But the MASL did the right thing and put the game out for free.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So what's the issue? I mean, okay, you missed a quarter. Maybe if you were like me, you purposely missed the second one. But then what's the issue? Like, you got it for free. All right.
Yeah. There shouldn't be. I mean, it's people nitpicking about little things.
Well, that's what
this is new to everyone. I mean, Facebook Live is new to everyone. If it were up to me, I would say go back to YouTube just because I'm selfish and I can get YouTube on my TV. I can't get Facebook on my TV.
The interface I have a Samsung TV, which should be in a Samsung phone with a cool case. You see? Oh, you can't see.
That is a cool case.
I have a Samsung phone and a Samsung TV, and I cannot stream a Facebook video from my phone to my TV. I have to go into the Facebook Watch app on my TV, and then fumble around with a search for MASL and try to find a video, and then mute the audio because it auto plays whatever the hell first video pops up anyway. And then it's just a bad interface. It's just, it
is. You're absolutely right. And it took me, and this, I tried getting it on my PS4 from my house. And that was a complete and utter nightmare, and I couldn't do it. And I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to watch it from my phone.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if I can do that for an entire season.
I would lose my mind.
I would lose my mind, unless it went to YouTube.
It'll be like the 13 sports, 12 or 15 sports season, where I had to fumble around. I found a Twitch TV app that some third party had made for Roku, and I paid the whopping sum of 99 cents for it. And then I was able to get the broadcasts that were on that channel. We work around it. We get it to work. There's been a lot of comments by a number of players too about the fact that pay-per-view is turning fans away. During the first game, and we'll talk about the first game. During the first the St. Louis Wichita game, I never saw more than 50 people watching it at one time live, because you saw that live. Actually, no, I didn't even watch that game live, did I?
I did. It hit
Oh, I
like
did. No, I
50.
did.
It hit like 50 at a certain point.
It like 50. The Dallas KC game, I saw 65 at the high point. So
Really, I saw like a couple hundred.
in the upper corner where it said
Hmm.
live,
It
I
was
never
like
saw more than 60.
at halftime. It was like at like 300.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
really good.
it was
Yeah,
about 300 when I hopped on.
maybe it's because I'm blocked from a certain group that I can't see anyone from that group in there.
Maybe.
Um,
But let's
And
go ahead, Matt.
well, I was going to say the difference between YouTube and I think YouTube turned off all their live chat comments
yeah.
last year, which was ridiculous in my opinion. So I was trying to talk on the Facebook live stream. Nothing. It was just
Well, it's because
dead silence.
anybody who's watching on a TV has no way to chat then,
Oh, that's true.
because there's no interface on a TV to chat. And
Well, it sucked.
hey, Nick, hey, Emma. Let's say hi to Pedro again, because he was like one of the first ones on here.
Oh
Said
yeah, that's
"Great
right.
watching," and I think it was me and him and you. So, but yeah, it's. I mean, I won't be happy about it, but if they're getting numbers in the 300s, I think that's good for preseason. And
Yeah.
maybe the point of this isn't to provide. It's not to bring more fans to the game. It's not a money grab to make owners rich or anything like this. It's a way to offset losses. They already know they're going to lose an X amount, and this is Matt. You can do on your board. So they were losing X, and then we're going to offset it by X minus Y. So solve for Z.
Well, he does that. Let's get away from the platforms and let's talk a little bit more about the games, right?
Yeah.
So we'll stick with the sidekicks and comments.
Yeah.
How surprised are you by the result?
So I didn't watch many sidekicks games last season.
Mm-hmm.
I did watch a number of comments games. I'm not surprised, but I'm happy for the comments to be able to pull a game together that complete that early. First half is obviously really slow for both teams, which you would expect that. But the second half, they just put it down and put the foot down and.
So the player that surprised me the most, even though he's a good player, I know he's a good player, but not necessarily with how many goals or whatever he did, but just his presence and how he defended was Palmer. He was absolutely nightmare for Dallas yesterday. Anytime he stepped up, they weren't going anywhere.
Right. Well, and then they got a couple goal lead, and they went back into that shell.
Right.
And it was just like, okay, and they didn't. The entire first half of the fourth quarter, I don't think any of their players other than changes went past their own yellow line.
Yeah, they did sit back a lot. Yeah. And it's crazy because in the second quarter, they only had 2 shots. In the third quarter, they had 9 shots.
Right.
That just showed how Dallas just took a nosedive. And I think it's because they I get Lipe is a beast and he's probably their best player, but you got to give him a rest. I don't even think I saw him come out.
Right. Yeah. He was on the field every single time. Every single time there was a free kick, no matter which side of the field it was, he was taking. It's like, how is this guy out here the whole time?
Yeah.
But the problem with that is you have one really good player. You just put more double teams on that player.
Exactly.
And even with that, he was able to get 3 goals.
He was.
They're going to shut him down. And it's going to be, I don't want to say easy to shut down a player like that because it's not, but it's easier to deal with a player like that when he's really the only one that can do things.
And Mujin did great with his hold-up play. He was great when he was on the ball and he allowed his team to come up. But when Mujin wasn't on the field, Scott wasn't doing what he was brought in to do, which was, show his dominance up top. And it was just really, I only saw 3-4 players on Dallas doing anything.
Yeah.
So we'll see what Dallas does next game. How do you feel about the result, Matt?
Lipe getting a hat trick, I mean, it really doesn't surprise me. Kansas City pulling away in the second half really didn't surprise me either. Who was in goal? It was Saxby and Meisner, I think. So
Yeah.
Neto wasn't in goal. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I think Dallas has a long way to go. So the result really doesn't surprise me. I think it should have been a little closer, but
Agreed.
Hey,
I mean, hats off to Kansas City for playing great soccer in the second half, because I did watch the second half, and they looked pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it was based on like the MASL site. Kansas had 20 shots and Dallas had 14, so it wasn't that big of a difference. It's just
I think Dallas took a lot of shots in the second quarter. I think from what I have been watching and reading, Kansas City pretty much dominated the first quarter, then Dallas had the second quarter. From what I saw, the last few minutes of the second quarter, Dallas was knocking on Kansas City's door.
right.
Must have made some sort of adjustment, and we all saw it.
Yeah, they put in Palmer.
Palmer ended the season last year pretty well, so it's a smooth transition.
Right.
oh, hey, if you are on, so a couple people have commented that there's no chat. If you are on a phone and you click on the Facebook, or from Facebook, you click on the YouTube link, it's going to open up in the mobile web browser, which does not have a chat.
Right, you would have to click on open an app.
So if you go, let me kill my background here. As much as I love this deer picture, it's not really helping.
It's
see things
creepy.
better. It's creepy. So if you go to the top three little lines way up here, oops, and do that, there's an option that says open in YouTube. And you click on that and it opens in the actual YouTube app. And then you can see the chat, and then you can chat yourself, I think.
Yep.
And you could chat yourself.
I chat with myself all the time because half the time you guys don't, I mean, other people don't really provide much conversation. Not specifically you guys.
Oh, I was gonna say we chat up a storm all the time.
I know.
So now the second game, or the first game.
So the first game was very, very surprising to me. And I think to a lot of people, and I want to pick on him a little bit just because he's probably not here to defend himself. Alec Marshke does his he's done a show a couple of years. It's changed names a couple of times, but I think it's MASL midweek now. And he has tended to go with the hype of whatever's happening at the time to make his picks. So I know last year he's like, oh, I think the Blast are going to have a problem making the playoffs. The Heat are going to do great, but he didn't really take into consideration the rest of the schedule. He just consideration like a small run. And I think what he did is he's like, oh, St. Louis signed Max. That means that they're going to win everything. And I saw a very, 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 very sloppy St. Louis team. Now, the good news, St. Louis fans, I didn't see anything from my expertise in all of the games I've coached, which is close to this many. I don't think there's anything that Everton can't coach them in like by this week.
Yeah.
Like actually, AJ, or I mean, sorry, JK47. I don't think there's anything they can't fix this week. What I did see, and we were talking, and I'm probably going to give, I guess Wave aren't playing, so it doesn't really help anybody. The reason Max Ferdinand was so good is because of obviously his skills, but he also had great people around him. There was a lot of plays that he made in that St. Louis game on Saturday where he dribbled around 5 or 6 to 7, 8, 12 different people, which is impossible, but still possible on your Max.
I was about to say you can't have more than like 5 or 6, depending on what ref is on.
He dribbled around some people twice. That's how it was. And the refs.
Oh, you that twice. You don't count that once. Okay.
Count the refs. But and then he made a perfect pass and just a completely missed shot. There was a shot by somebody that I won't name. It was down in like the right corner, and he missed it so badly it almost went out on the yellow line on the left side of the field.
So I agree with you. I think we might see a different St. Louis this weekend, but the St. Louis of this past weekend, they were just not organized. They hadn't had much time to gel. They brought a lot of talent, but that communication, they obviously look for Max. They obviously want to move everything through Max, but they're not on the same page. So there was this one play where the Duca laid it off to Max. Max was expecting for him to make that through run that Ian makes, and the Duca didn't through the center. He went out wide. Max just threw his hands up like,
Yeah.
you guys got to find that, that rhythm together. Because, I mean, he said it at the end of the game, Max did. It's just chemistry. They're just not, it's not there yet. So we might see a different St. Louis later on in the season, but right now they're just working through it. And I don't think this tournament is going to be one that they take, but they could use it to get ready for the season.
Oh, I think the other team should be worried that they're playing this.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't watch. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to watch the game. But I saw the highlights from Benji, and he looked really good. But at the same time, St. Louis looked lost.
So enough about St. Louis. Let's talk about Wichita.
That's my team to win this cup.
Wow. So if you guys remember,
Oh, hey.
Is it Hammerski or Hammerski?
Welcome back, Matt.
Thank you.
The cool thing about YouTube. So we're, as everyone knows who's watching this and who might watch this afterwards, this is our first stream on YouTube. The only reason we're really doing a show tonight is to test out YouTube, but we also want to talk about the Central Cup games. The cool thing in Facebook, Matt, you totally vanished from the broadcast.
That's awesome.
Like when we had Leo on, you couldn't even tell Leo was on because it didn't have a space for his name. Now on YouTube, when you do the thing where you go off video, it still has a box for your name.
Aw.
You're there, so that you feel more like a part of the family here.
Oh, good. All right.
And by the way, his name is Hammersky. Hammersky. Yeah.
Hammerski.
Yeah.
So that guy, he played for Kansas City for a couple of years and wasn't very good. And he played for the Wings and was amazing.
He was phenomenal.
He was fantastic during that game. And I heard that name and I'm like, oh, this is going to be rough. And then KC scored. And I'm like, here we go. And then Wichita scores to come back. And I remember the exact, went back and forth for a little bit. But then Wichita was just like, we're done. We're out of here. See you. And then a couple of empty net goals. But
did you guys hear anything I was saying?
No.
So we heard.
I was going off on a tangent, and then all of a sudden it said I was off, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Oh no, we didn't.
Oh, good. Okay.
Last thing we heard was Benji's highlights.
Yes.
Okay, good. So I didn't watch the game, but I did watch Benji's highlights that were yours.
Thanks.
and it looked. I mean, he played great, but St. Louis looked super lost. So I think Max being there. St. Louis really didn't have like a seasoned veteran to like work with Duca. I mean, JT Thomas has been around the league for a few years, so maybe that, but like not like a Max Ferdinand. I mean, Max Ferdinand played for Baltimore. I mean, he played for Milwaukee, and he's had all sorts of like amazing talent, and he makes everyone around him better. So I expect them to have a little rough start, and then I think they'll play better. Did Paulo end up playing?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
Mm-mm. So
but was Petracek in goal the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't bad.
I mean, that Petracek, Paulo. I mean, Paulo is definitely better. So maybe it would have been like 6-3 instead of 8-3.
Petracek tends to, and I've noticed this over the year, tends to let. How do I word this?
His frustration get the best of him?
Yeah, it tends to get frustrated and it just kind of snowballs after that. And you can tell once he gets frustrated, you just pepper him with more shots, assuming they're on net. That was St. Louis's problem. I mean, the game could have been at the end of the first half. The game could have been 9-8, either team if they would have had more shots on goal. And Wichita was missing a lot too, but then they got it together in the second half.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, really, Petacek, he's good. I just think he needs some more guidance and more experience, and I think he'll be definitely a different player, especially if he goes under Paulo's wing and he shows him the ropes. I think he can grow a lot. But the two players that like stood out to me, obviously, you guys knew I like Benji just from watching him in Mexico, but Henry, Jesus Christ, this kid just is in the right spot at the right time. So he had for 3 goals and 1 assist.
Okay. Yeah,
And
he was the other guy with the hat trick then.
yeah, and he was doing great things. Him and Benji work well together. But just overall, Wichita's performance was surprising. In the first half, it was St. Louis pretty much running the show because they had more shots overall. But in the second half, I mean, in the third quarter, Wichita had 10 shots in one quarter. 10 shots.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, and the 3 stars were Henry, Benji, and Hemersky.
Right, exactly. So I really do think Wichita is going to take this tournament because I think that people are, well, maybe not anymore, but I think people were thinking they were just going to be an easy team to beat.
I think they were thinking, oh, this is the MASL2 team. MASL2 team, they have no reason to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's obviously a mistake. Anytime that sort of thing happens, underdog type scenario like that, to take the team lightly and say, we can go in here and win, no problem. And then, holy crap, what just happened?
Yeah.
For the young guys on St. Louis, I know there's probably who is this guy talking about Max Ferdinand? He's coming in. He's probably getting paid way more than we do. What does he know better? We've been doing this ourselves the last couple of years. Just pay attention to Max. Take everything he can offer you. He's not going to be there forever. There's going to be a point in your career where he's not going to be around. And just watch what he's done. If you haven't seen him really play, just watch some of the things he's done in the past. Watch some of the things he does. He was my first half MVP for the All-Star game, but you couldn't give a single highlight that he did that would really show off. He was just in so many spots in so many different places. And it was, even if it was just a clearance to pass the ball back to the keeper, his vision and his knowledge of the game are so good that you guys should definitely listen to him. And St. Louis fans, you got nothing to worry about. Things are going to come together. We did last year, and this is preseason on a weird, probably a lot of players have gained weight, not really worked out a lot in the off season, and it'll come back. Don't worry about it.
I think him and JT and Duduka have a bright future specifically for this season. But given like JT's performance last season, he was on a high. So just give them a little time, get them and Everton some time to work things out, and you guys will see what the hype was about. Yeah. But don't expect it in this tournament. I mean, it might click, it might not. But
if they spend all week working on shooting and nothing else, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm serious. There were so many shots that were and there were a lot that were close. There were so many that were just so far off that was like,
yeah,
come on, guys. This is like, I don't want to say amateur hour, but it was almost embarrassing to watch. But that's something, like I said, that's just get the reps in, go practice shooting for 8 hours or how many hours you practice for. And that's going to get the rhythm back, because Max will put the ball where you need it. Just trust that Max will put it where you need it, and then just fire away and fire on target. And that should take care of that. I do want to take this time to say, now that we are on YouTube, please click the subscribe button and then click that little bell doohickey and choose all when you click the bell. And then you'll get a notification on whatever device you want for when we go live. And what we can do is, as you might have seen, is we can schedule the live shows. So what I'll do is I'll go in a half an hour before, or maybe even the day before or whatever, and schedule the show to start. And then all we have to do is hit that one button. We're still going to play the Are We Live Yet game. But then all you have to do is hit that one button and you're live. and
Yeah.
we don't screw around with Facebook maybe not working depending on what mood it's in that day, and all the other crap. So I think we're gonna stick with YouTube here. Doohickey, it's the thingamabob, the whatchamajigger, the thing, the thing, the doohickey.
Yeah, the thing. Click the thing.
Click the
Click
thing.
the click the
Just
click the
click the
thing.
just click the button. But no, I do like
Just do it
YouTube.
now.
Well,
Just take,
yeah, go ahead, Matt.
can we take like 30 seconds for everyone to just do that now? Just
Yes, we'll just stare at you.
down.
Might
Why
be
you
over
stare at
here.
me?
Okay. See, this is weird because it's not a mirror for
Yes.
me, and I'm over here.
Well, I'm clicking. I'm doing like the bell. Like the bell's down there somewhere.
So guys, before we move on to the next round of Central Cups.
Yeah. Wait, we gotta wait.
Oh,
Until
sorry.
everyone subscribes. I haven't got any notifications that anyone subscribed yet.
Goodness,
I can sit here all day, guys.
I can't.
Yeah, same here.
I like looking at me.
So for those that are interested in the M3, I just want to give you guys a little update on what happened this past week. Demise played the Sunflowers, and they took the victory 8-4. The stream is up. It's a good stream. It's just a bad location where they streamed it from. So you got like the net view, but overall it was good. And then the reason I bring it up is because we had another team, the Omaha Kings. They had a stream happen, which I paid for. It was $2.99.
That's right.
And it was terrible. And it wasn't necessarily their fault. It's something to do with the internet connection, because I reached out to the owner. He was telling me, we were talking back and forth what he could help. Adam, I might reach out to you about it. But it was freezing, and then it was so bad that the second half, they just stopped. So they didn't even show the second half of the game. They did end up losing 7-2 against Des Moines, but they're a good team, so we'll see what happens. But another thing I wanted to talk about was after the game. Well, during the game and then after the game, the owner of the Omaha Kings was notified that people's car doors were getting windows were getting shattered.
Oh, great.
And it was from what they're hearing and what they're being told, it's, people not from the community doing stuff, that kind of thing. But the cool thing was that the community came together and raised funds for the families that were affected and stuff like that. So it's a really cool note to end with. But I just wanted to give everyone a little, hey, M3's happening.
Yeah.
Follow it.
It's weird. We kind of ended the show last time with, M1. They're doing the Central Cup schedule starting in January. M2 is completely off until summer, although they are doing a couple like late spring tournaments. Actually, that would be early spring tournaments. And then M3, like, oh yeah, we're starting right away.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, we'll keep you guys updated on what's going on. We may not talk about them every week, but we'll definitely post about them.
Yeah. Well, you will.
Okay, I will.
And you'll post links of the games, so those of us who don't know where to find them or too lazy to look for them, will be able to.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. But now, predictions. Round 2 Central Cup.
Oh, round 2. Oh, I went in the other.
Friday the 18th, we have Sidekicks versus Wichita. And then Saturday, December the 19th, we have St. Louis versus Kansas City.
So we had Pedro, I love how you support us, and I need to support you guys better. So my apologies for that. I have basically ignored M2 and M3 just because I don't have a reason. I really don't.
At least you're honest. Hey, but through me, you're supporting them.
And I will. I want to watch. I do want to watch more games. Where F1 season just ended. I didn't really care to watch the. Yeah, there you go. I didn't really care to watch the Packer game, so I'm not really an NFL fan this year, just because it's so slow and so long and so boring. I need something else to watch, and the Central Cup is going to keep me, up until Christmas. But I need something. I need something else. speaking of the game Friday, we probably don't want to have a show Friday night.
Oh yeah.
But I have a complete superstar lineup. Think I'll give a hint out. Wave fans, think 2 players that play for the Tropics you'd want to see on at the same time. We'll leave it at that. I just gave it away.
You might as well just had said the names.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Just in case it doesn't happen. We're trying to set it up for Friday, I was going to set it up for Friday, but we're going to try to set it up for Monday. So anyway,
Wait, what? What's going on? Wait,
we might have
Read the chat.
oh my god.
not in the chat.
No, our chat, our private chat,
What private
Yeah, I
chat?
know.
the one we schedule everything or try to, but they completely get distracted for.
You mean you're supposed to keep focus on something?
Oh, maybe not. So,
Oh, shine.
but also, would Thursday rework? No, you know what? Let's not talk about this here. Predictions.
So predictions. Friday night's game is going to be awesome, and that's why I don't want to do a show because I want to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, where is it at? So it's in Wichita. So the last game I saw in Wichita, I only saw parts of the M2 games once. I saw when we first merged leagues, it was the B-52s. Was that the same arena?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then it's definitely a good arena, and they had some decent crowds there. And I know
Oh, they gets packed.
yeah, I know they had good. I don't know what the crowds are going to be this year, but
Oh, of course.
I heard that arena has a rusted tin roof.
Oh, well, that's cool. Is it low enough that they can hit a ball off it and put like a microphone there?
Well, yeah, they have a car that's as big as a whale, and they're heading on down to the Love Shack. B-52s. Okay, I'm done. Good night.
Didn't.
Good night.
Just Costanza yourself out of this show. So I mean, my
That's all I needed to do to get out of this show is that? Dang, I would have done that a year ago.
oh, the jerks start calling. They're running.
Then they're running out of you.
To speak of the Wichita, if there's a game you guys want to look back on, just watch Savage play there.
Oh, okay.
That game was, I won't tell you the score. It was a great game. And I was talking to one of the referees that actually ref the games. And he was saying they wear microphones, and it was so loud that he couldn't even hear in the microphone.
Wow.
So it's for M2 side, they have a good supporter behind them. So this game is going to be interesting for me.
Yeah. So Aaron and Pedro are talking about if M3 streams free or pay-per-view or whatever, and Pedro says each team does whatever works best for them. It's pretty tough to get a quality stream at each venue. So Aaron, think about like the what's the team in the, are they M3 the Brew City, the Milwaukee team, the team from my hometown?
Oh, they're still PASL.
So, but they play at E-Line. Imagine trying to get a stream from a game at E-Line. Like, where would you go?
Mm-hmm.
I know Aaron's been there, so it's your typical indoor facility. There's 3 fields, and there's like a balcony above, but the balcony doesn't really stretch across to the 3rd field. The glass is just all beat up and all messed up, and yeah, the Legends, yeah. And then Jay says, is Wichita M1 now, or is it just for the tournament? So Gio's guess was that they were going to use this tournament to announce that they're joining M1. I think they're holding off for a year just because of COVID and just the mess that it's in. But I would.
That's
Yeah,
what I heard.
they weren't mentioned in the 11 teams that were going to be a part of.
So I heard from a reliable source that they're going to hold off.
Yeah.
They were going to, but they're going to hold off until the following year.
It makes sense. The same reason why Cleveland's not doing it this year. COVID has just completely screwed up everything.
Which is interesting, though. Speaking of Cleveland, they had been talking about playing M2 in November, but they're going to be playing in a tournament in April with, what is it, Muskegon and
they're talking about playing M1 in November next year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they're doing the Muskegon Invitational to get ready for the fall.
which is similar to the Central Cup for M2 teams.
hmm
Because
Which
they're
is
not really
it's
established. It's almost like Wichita playing in the M1.
yeah.
Which
So
they-
it's Muskegon, Cleveland. Oh my God, I'm drawing blanks.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I don't know who it is.
I have it. But yeah, so that's going to be a friendly tour, or it's going to be like Central Cup, but later on in the year.
But I mean, the reason why I said that is it's interesting. They had been talking about like everything was going to be set up in November, like big things are going to happen in November, but now they're talking about playing in March and April, which is awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
I
It's
think
sooner
it's
than
good.
I expected. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm excited to see. Sorry.
So Saturday, what is it? KC, St. Louis, where is it?
Saturday.
No,
it-
Saturday. Yeah, Casey.
Or Saturday. Yeah.
KC ambush at KC.
Okay. Ambush and
Again, I
KC
mean-
and Wichita. Okay.
Those ambush and KC wherever they play is always going to be a good game.
Mhm.
So
I
that
mean,
could be-
If you want predictions, just give me the home teams in this one.
so we all picking wings then?
I
Yeah,
am.
I'm picking wings.
Yeah. Okay. And are we all picking Comets then?
I am.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, I am too.
I think
don't
you're
see-
gonna. I think you're going to see Nicoletto in goal. I think you're going to see Powell in goal. So it'll be kind of cool to see the two all-star keepers.
That might
Go
be a
at it.
completely different game. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a different St. Louis, but I don't think they're going to be because Kansas City looks so good. Kansas City looks so good. So I don't think they're going to be enough, but I think it's going to be a different St. Louis.
Yeah.
So it's funny because the way the games work out, then it might actually. So those are Saturday. So we're both picking the wing. We're all picking the wings. We're all picking the Comets.
hmm
The next game is going to be Sidekicks at the ambush in St. Louis. I think St. Louis finally gets things
I
together.
think St. Louis is going to win that one.
hmm
And I think the way things will work out, that'll be for like third place. Yeah, Jay, there is no Paulo, only Zool. He had that one haircut, man, where it looked like.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now he's got like the little like bun
Yeah,
because he had it while we were in Kansas City.
yeah. So then Sunday, so that's Sunday at noon. Sunday at 6 p.m. is Comets versus Wings in Wichita. I think that'll be the game to determine who takes it all.
Yep.
I think so.
And I don't know. I think I got to pick the Wings at home with the home field.
No,
advantage.
I'll take Kansas City. I just
I've been screaming the wings, so I'm gonna stay with them
I
through and
know
through.
the way I've been screaming Kansas City, so I'm going to take the Comets.
So I am a Comet. I'm a converted Comets fan after the All-Star game weekend. And they played a great game Saturday.
They did. They sure did.
But I
I
think
got okay. So you're a Kansas City fan. So I got to say real quick, I'm an ambush fan just for the jerseys. That pink jersey.
That pink jersey is nice. I need one.
It reminds me of, when you guys, if you've been on Twitter, have you seen the, was it Forward Madison FC?
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
And they have like the pink and blue, like
Those
the
are like-
flamingos.
psychedelic jersey. That was awesome. And that reminds me of that jersey.
yeah. I could see. Yeah.
I need one.
Yep.
I like the black. I like the pink jersey, but I would never wear it. So maybe I'll just buy one for Mandy. She can wear it.
But it's
There
so
you go.
nice. To each their own.
Right.
It's just not my personal color, but it doesn't mean I don't like it.
Right.
So
I really like that Forward Madison jersey. I probably wouldn't wear that either.
So we're not doing a show on Friday. Is that what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
To be
let's
determined.
do a show on Friday.
Right.
We're going to aim for next Monday.
Okay.
And that way
Perfect.
we can recap the games and then
I'll have my all-star jerseys by then.
there you go. So here's something interesting that wasn't planned for tonight, but Aaron says, how many M1 teams are you guys thinking for 21-22?
21-22.
Too early to tell, but I think if COVID is still around, I see the American teams coming back. I see Mesquite coming back. I see Turlock coming back. Milwaukee. So I'd say 14. Because I think there'd still be issues with crossing the border and stuff like that. So I would say 14.
So you would say 14.
I did, yes.
All right. So I'm going to say, so there's 11 right now with the current teams the way they are. I don't see any of the current teams not playing next season. I think everything is more than stable enough to stay in. So I'm going to add Milwaukee back. That's 12. I'm adding Mesquite back. I'm adding Wichita in. So that's 14 right there.
Oh, I forgot about Wichita.
There's a Fort Worth team that's been talking about playing. I'm not going to add them. I'm going to add Cleveland because they're going to be in Cleveland Crunch. That's 15. And then I'm going to go
Turlock.
really, really optimistic and say 3 Mexican teams, Monterey, Sonora, and Savage.
What about Turlock?
I think Turlock can probably do it. I think they have such low costs that having a season off won't fold them.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be 19 with Turlock.
I think that's actually what I'm going with myself.
I think 19. Now, the big problem will be travel. So 16 or 19. 16 without the Mexican teams, 19 with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're going to see anything in Canada for a while. I haven't heard any rumors or any talk about any ownership groups at all.
In Canada, no. So I remembered the Muskegon Invitational. So it's Cleveland, Muskegon, the Colorado Inferno.
Oh yeah.
And the Fort Worth Sporting Club. So I don't know if this is the same club that looks to. Oh no, sorry, Fort Wayne. Never mind.
Fort Wayne is
I was about to say, I'm like, that's a long trek.
A little bit further.
Well, of course, Colorado Inferno's a long trek, but
never mind. It's Fort Wayne.
So
never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm playing on my microphone here because. So, Aaron, I pasted a YouTube video in there. For those of us who have watched a certain team with the teal jerseys over the years, we know that their announcing is painful. Not the styles of the guys. I think the guys themselves do a good job, but their microphones are turned up so loud that it is just painful to watch. So I put together a quick video, kind of because I started this YouTube channel, like I call it, and Matt's teasing me for it. I call it Hi YouTube, I'm Dad, and I mix my dad jokes with my music side of my life, and I keep indoor soccer out of it. Well, now I transferred and merged all three together, and I talked about MASL, talked about some of the teams. Monterey is really bad at this. Milwaukee used to be really bad on louder calls where the microphone would do what's called clipping, and that's that static or that just like completely overdone. I could demo it here, but I don't want to do that to people. I put together this little video on my channel, and I posted the URL up to Aaron. So Aaron, you're going to want to watch that because
can I tell you a story about that?
Yeah.
So last night when you posted it,
did you take like 12 oxys and watch it and then have a trip?
So I had took my medication. I was starting to fall asleep, and it was at the point where you were like really low, and then out of nowhere you peaked so loud, and I was like, "What's happening?" I got so scared. It was
right here off to the side, right on top of my desk, and I was just taking the dial and going like this, going like this, going like this, and all of a sudden I saw the peak light go on, and I'm like, just a little bit more.
Oh my God, I had almost a panic attack because I was like passing out, and all of a sudden something just got really loud.
I went up and I told my daughter, I'm like, hey, just so you know, you're going to hear a bunch of yelling from downstairs because her room is right above my basement office. I'm like, you're going to hear a bunch of yelling from downstairs. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. And I had to do so I said it, 3 times in the video? And I think I had to do 2 takes of it. So it was 6 times.
Oh, man.
The first one I just.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah.
Imagine. But yeah, that was my fun story.
But that's when I play. So I played it for my wife, and Mandy, and they were like, "That's exactly what those broadcasts sound like."
Hmm.
There are a lot of them that just don't.
They need to fix their audio. It's
And I
that
think what's
simple.
probably happening is they probably have an amp that's not powerful enough. So the only way they can get, they have to put every signal. They basically just turn everything up all the way. And the problem is specifically in St. Louis is they have so much bleed through from their arena. I was told that they just ordered headset mics, so they're going to take care of those. That should take care of. They'll be able to hear through, because right now they just have handheld mics and everything bleeds through the arena and everything, and it probably becomes like an echo chamber, up above, and if they're in the upper box and everything. But what emergency alert, Amber alert? That's nice. Sorry, I don't know anybody named Amber. That was probably bad.
Oh my god.
That's probably a really bad joke.
Oh my god.
But anyway,
Brought to you by In the Box.
right. But when they have headset mics, the microphone is unidirectional, so it's only going to face, when you have a headset mic right up, in front of your mouth, it's only going to face towards you. And then when they have headphones on, they can hear each other better. So
Yeah.
hopefully they'll be able to handle that better. The problem is that they have an amp that's still not very powerful. They're going to run into issues. They're still going to have to crank everything just to be heard. But hopefully we're hoping they can figure it out.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this weekend goes and how the end of the Central Cup goes.
Yeah, but I mean, it is very prevalent around the league.
Hmm.
You're all over the place.
A lot of teams.
Monterey used to be really bad, and that's the problem. So the whole compressor thing I was talking about, if you set it correctly, you can scream as loud as you want. It won't be any louder than your loudest talking. And I probably didn't have mine set up sensitive enough for the video, because I could have brought it way down. You can crank those things on, and for voice, it doesn't really affect. For music, you're going to kill your music, the feel of your music doing that. But for voice, especially for a broadcast, I mean, TV broadcasts, they're just yelling constantly. Especially like a NASCAR race. It's like, welcome to the really loud 500 where we can't hear because we've been listening to cars this loud for our entire life. What? All right. So next topic. So a topic came up today, and I actually want to read a post here from Brian Halberg, who's one of our new fans from the group. We met him at the All-Star game.
He sat right in front of us.
Sat 2 rows in front of us, and we talked on and off throughout the game. He says in your recent podcast, which would have been Friday, you talked about needing a possible asterisk for this season. What if a team takes it and they had no home games, say Sockers or Furious Stars? Sockers. Would a team that had a much harder season due to no home games, would they be deserving of the Ron Newman Cup? So everyone had thoughts about this. My first thought is San Diego cannot win a cup until they beat Monterey. They've spent 2 years in a row gearing their team up specifically to beat Monterey, and they didn't do it. And they were on their way to do it again, but Monterey was even better last season. So that's my thought on that, is you have to beat, the two teams that were in the last championship aren't in the league right now. And it isn't due to reasons that they can control. Monterey can't control travel. Milwaukee has no place to play. Milwaukee's not going to play in a rec center. They're not going to do like I'll pick on Soccer Sam a little bit, where he's like, we have to play in a youth arena. We're going to do it because I want soccer. It's not the Wave. That's not the Wave's brand.
Mm-hmm.
The Wave's not going to go, we held the season attendance record for 4 seasons in a row, and now we're playing in a place that we can't even have fans. It's just not it. The experience is the fan experience, is the game, is the brand. And that said, Mike Zimmerman just replied to this thread, and he said, Wichita beat Ambush. All-Star team was a charity softball game. All good and all fun, all good for the sport, but really meaningless when it comes to competition. Agreed. Teams and markets are doing their best, but it's simply not worthy of a year in which a true winner can be crowned. And then he said, Wave remain undisputed champions until someone proves me wrong. And Ian Bennett's always said, in order to be the champs, you got to beat the champs. So I would be perfectly fine with a season 20/21 trophy, but I don't think you can call it the Ron Newman Cup. Yes, I do think it's something to be said if somebody can come in, especially if somebody can go undefeated 12 games on the road with the crazy schedule they're going to pack in, because some of these teams are going to play from February at the earliest until April, mid-April, and they're going to try to pack 12 games where they're traveling in there. And I don't know if they're going to just take up residence in a hotel. That's got to be ridiculously expensive, or they're going to be traveling back and forth. They're probably going to be playing back-to-backs, maybe even 3 in a weekend. If they can do that, absolutely hats off to them. They deserve something. But is it the Ron Newman Cup in the true spirit of the MASL? I don't agree with that. I don't think so.
I don't think so. I can't agree with a Ron Newman Cup being won by games winning percentages. I know that's not how it's going to go, but the teams that make to the playoffs are going to enter based off that. But I can't.
I mean, that's a whole nother discussion for when we have a real season. The tiebreakers, because it's always Tacoma and Ontario fighting for that last spot, and they're both good enough to deserve playing in the playoffs. But for it to come down to like how many women with purses over their right shoulder versus left shoulder, or whatever the crazy tiebreakers, I don't think that's one of them actually. But whatever the tiebreakers are, goals away, goals on the north side of the field, goals, how many times they bounce the ball off the wall. That probably isn't it either, is it?
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah,
but
I think that'll be a big point of contention for when we all come back and when we're all playing again, is how do we get it so it's more competition and not coming down to some weird off the wall tiebreaker.
anyways, so I'm gonna make my answer short and sweet. I know we're going into hour 2. So I posted my thoughts on that thread. I don't think it's a Ron Newman Cup-esque type year. And Gio said it perfectly. I mean, it's going to come down to winning percentages, and teams like Ontario, Tacoma, San Diego, like all the central teams are going to be playing against each other, and they're all great teams. Meanwhile, you've got Utica, Baltimore, Rochester, or Utica, Baltimore, Harrisburg, basically playing Rochester every weekend.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's fair for those other teams. So there needs to be some sort of normalcy. Now, and I said if it's a round robin type format, then yeah, I would lean more towards yes. But that's not going to happen. You're not going to see Utica playing every team once, and that's it. You're going to see Utica playing Rochester probably 4 or 5 times, and Baltimore and Harrisburg, and maybe they'll sprinkle in a Florida and meanwhile, Kansas City playing Florida a few times, and it's just I don't think it's fair.
I would expect Florida to maybe be in that group, but like KC and St. Louis won't be playing the East teams. The West teams won't even be playing at home. So then what do you do? You have 11 teams. What do you pick the top? You pick the top 4 to go to the playoffs, or maybe you pick the top 6 and have a wild card or some kind of weird thing. There's really no good way to go about it with 11 teams. It's just kind of an odd number. It is an odd number, but if let's say you do 6 teams and you have a wild card, similar to how NFL does it, then what are you doing based on win percentage of like a San Diego and Blast or UCFC who never play each other, and then do they get a 1-game playoff against each other or something?
Yeah, and it'll be interesting because I mean, geez, the season is literally starting in 3 weeks. So, and we've already seen that the January schedule's out. And we were talking to Nick and Eric on the field, and they said they're going to do 1 month at a time just to kind of see where each state is but yeah, I don't think it's a Ron Newman Cup year. Maybe playoffs, and that's great, but
I mean, we all know that they're going to call it potentially. They may call it a Ron Newman Cup, but we all know it deserves an asterisk.
Absolutely.
So Aaron just says, with the MASL pyramid, will we ever get relegation rules? And I replied with a picture of a taco. So the reason behind that is I think it's Edward Ham that he was in an MLS group, and they keep talking about relegation and promotion, and it started to be a thing where every time they brought that topic up, people would just reply with memes of tacos. So there you go.
There you go.
Um,
No, I don't. So can I give 2 cents to that? Yes.
You can put
Okay.
nickel if you want.
Okay, I'll give it a nickel, maybe a dime. No, never mind.
We don't have time for a dime.
Yeah.
Time for a nickel. 2 cents is all you got.
So I don't think they should. Honestly, I think the M2 is a great place to vet teams and a great place for reserve teams for the first division. And I think the M3 is the amateur world that is good for brands or players to grow their talent to get recruited by those top teams. So I don't think it should be a pyramid. I think it should be used for what it is. M3 for players and M2 to vet possible teams or teams that are in trouble to drop back into M2.
If there was a consistent number of teams in each division, it would kind of be a neat idea. But at the same time, there's like what? Okay, let's say in a perfect world, there's 16 teams in the MASL. How many are in M2? Like 6? Like how would that work?
It depends on what year it is. We haven't even had the same the same lineup of teams 2 years in a row in the MASL or in any.
I'm thinking if like the MSL had 14 teams and M2 had 14 teams, then maybe we can talk about it. But
yeah, but let's get there first.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not even close to that right now.
So here's the argument. Aaron just said Rochester with question mark pay to play softens the league, and I think that's exactly what it is. We'll pick European soccer where there's 4 tiers or whatever of pro leagues, and even the 4th tier is pulling in thousands of fans at a game, and they have super loyal fans and super groups and things like that, and you can move up and down and things like that, and a team can move from the top tier to the 2nd tier and not lose anything financially. Whereas I think what happens in our league is you have teams that are not financially stable enough to be able to move up to the 1 league, but maybe have the skill to play there. But if you moved them up there, they would lose their ass and they'd go out of business in a year or 2 because they just couldn't handle the financial pressures and the demands of being in that top league.
So not in the case of Rochester. Rochester is a rarity. I mean,
Rochester is the opposite, where Rochester can handle it financially, and they're not at the skill level yet, and they'll get there. I have no doubts. They showed toward
the young talent coming through,
and it takes everyone knows it takes 3 or 4 years for a soccer player to develop indoor skills, so that's fine. So I guess the question is, would I rather have a Rochester in the league or a Turlock in the league if I had to choose? And I think my answer is a Turlock or Rochester. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, I'm like, what?
But so I want to be a devil's advocate in that conversation. I know we're running long, but
Doesn't matter.
In the outdoor world, if you take a mediocre team and inject it with a bunch of funds, it becomes one of the top teams. It's kind of the whole mentality that Rochester's pay to play. Obviously, Rochester's a little different, but it's the same thing. It's if the money's available for it, the team will figure out how to make it work. Just give them time.
But where's the money come from?
From the outdoor?
Well,
Corn dog sale.
So from an outdoor team, like let's say, for example, when who was it? PSG was bought by pretty much a country. It was pretty much bought by a country. All the money was injected into that team, and now it's one of the best teams.
So you take a Turlock, who I think have proven that they have the potential to have the skill to compete with the top teams, and you dump them into do what Detroit Waza Flow did. They moved to Flint, Michigan in an arena that held 6,000 people, and they couldn't get more than 300 people a game. You have a loyal fan base in Turlock that is barely selling out a 500 person capacity place, and then you move them to an arena that can fit, say, 4,000 on the low end. I think that kills them. I think their arena costs, their travel costs, everything goes up exponentially. Whereas right now, and I've had this conversation in the past. What would you rather have in the league? a team that can get 500 people a game, but is financially one of the more financially stable teams in the league, or a team that can get 3,000 people, but they're losing money every single game, no matter what happens.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, what's better? That 3,000 person, fan team has an owner that can probably sustain it. I'm looking at you, particular team down there. And what happens when the guy's just sick of losing money?
That's
When
true.
he's like, I've lost 100 grand plus every year. I just can't help doing this. I thought winning, I'll bring all these players in would help me become financially stable. What happens?
Yeah.
And I think stability is what really counts. And I know Soccer Sam has said, and I think it's St. Louis said it a while back, that with their sponsorships, they actually don't need fans in the stands to cover their costs, cover their player salaries and things like that. So I think that's where things really need to get to. And then
I
the
agree.
fans, that's the revenue. The home games pay for the away game kind of thing that I was talking about on Friday.
I agree. I think that's the mentality the league should have.
Yep, I agree.
Did we cover everything we were going to talk about?
Yes, sir.
One thing. The
Gator.
Matt Johnson won the spinoff for the All-Star Gator that we're giving away. Matt, you need to contact someone from the three of us and give us your mailing address so we can send that to you. And we'll give you extra time because it's the holidays and everything. But if it turns out to be too long, 2-3 weeks down the road, we're probably going to just raffle it off to somebody else. And you're probably not watching this anyway, so you're probably never going to see this. But I will reply again to that message sometime later this week, and as a reminder. All right, so now we can see how we end the YouTube stream, because I don't really know. Oh, there's
first, thank you everyone for joining us on YouTube.
Yes,
we enjoyed it.
We're unless something drastic.
The button down there. Wait, is it down here? Wait.
I don't know where it is on your screen, but I have two different screens up right now. But yeah,
so
we want
down,
everyone to click the subscribe button and click the bell, and that way you'll be notified. We will also post the link in Facebook every single time in the group.
Up here.
We'll post it in advance. No show this Friday night. We're going to shoot for a show Monday. Actually, we'll do a show Monday no matter what. A week from tonight. What's our theme song? Corn dogs and indoor soccer. Cha cha cha.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, I solved for X. X was Batman.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
What better way to end it than that?
Yeah.
We need the drink wheel next show for Matt. Well, it's going to be a Monday night. That may be tough, but we can figure something out.
Yeah, it'll probably be tough because I'm doing another 2 to 9 shift. So if we did this show tomorrow, we could definitely do it because I don't have to work on Wednesday. But
I don't think people want to see us 2 days in a row.
Nope.
I don't want to see me 2 days in a row.
I had to see it 4 days in a row, and that was just
right. Like how many Impractical Jokers episodes does it take for Matt and Adam to hate each other?
No, it's how many episodes, how many minutes of Top Secret videos does it take?
2.
At least.
Warning, PSA, do not watch the show on True TV Top Secret Videos. I know everyone's going to go out and watch it just to prove me wrong, but just
please don't. Please.
All right. Everybody have a good night. We will
good night, everybody.
We will see you 1 week from tonight. And
see ya.
enjoy the games this weekend. See ya.
See you, everybody.
All right, we ended the stream. Now I'm ending Zoom. See you later.